Hello, everybody! I'm gonna assume that I am live. And if you hear that music in the background, it's because it is the Legend of Zelda. Part 4, we are streaming, and we're about to get to a red moon. I've got it on pause. So let me know how the audio is. I listened back to portions of these live streams, and I realized my audio is a little bit wonky. So if you hear bad audio or low audio, let me know. So we're at the part where we've left the Sky Realm. We're now on the main map, which is the middle level. And we're going to be trying to clear a couple of shrines. We're going to deal with this first blood moon in the game. And if you are unfamiliar with Legend of Zelda, the blood moon is when all the bad guys you've killed come back. But I didn't just defeat a bunch of bad guys. So it's usually not relevant unless you're around bad guys that you have recently killed. We're also talking, which makes this different than what a lot of people are doing on the internet when it comes to gaming, talking some important thing happening in the world. In this case, Sam Bankman-Fried and the fall of FTX. His rise to fame and billionaire status and the pretty dramatic unraveling of FTX. And why that really doesn't have very much to do with cryptocurrency. So we're going to get into the gameplay, do a little bit, and then we'll switch to talking about Sam Bankman-Fried as well. Okay. Here it is, the blood moon.
Witness the blood moon's rise. When its red glow
A little vibration action going.
the endless spirits of slain monsters return to flesh. Just as they did in a war long past. The world is threatened once again.
You can usually skip this, by the way. I don't know if the first time you do it, you can't. But I just let it play so you guys could check it out. Alright, so you can see because I wasn't fighting any bad guys, there are no bad guys who have regenerated around me because there were none to begin with. Look at this fox. I don't ever remember him curling up like that. Alright, so to update you also on our game log, our adventure log, we are now, we left the Temple of Time. We got out of it and came down to the main island. And we heard Princess Zelda say, "Link, you must find me." We've got to head to the land below to look for clues for where she was. So the main objective is obviously to find Princess Zelda, and it seems like we need to go to this spot. If you don't in your adventure log have highlighted the right quest, it's not a good look. Here, as you can see, we can't even highlight find Princess Zelda. So the next thing the game wants us to do is head to the Kingdom of Hyrule and this particular dot. So I see a shrine right in front of me. Let's look around. Some bad guys, bad guys, bad guys. Let me eat a little food. Restore all my hearts to full. That was perfect. That was the perfect thing. We're going to grab this shrine and then head to the dot. All right. I love these bats. I don't know. I don't remember what they're called. They look like bats. Because you can shoot them if you have something to jump from. And let's see what we got here. And you get a lot of I think they're called keeses. And get a lot of keys pieces. Alright, I'm going to use the fuse. which I think you have to do from up here, or from the place that you're gonna be jumping from. Let's see. Jumping and climbing is weird these days. I don't know why. It's not as easy as it once was. Alright, Keith, you still around? So I try to get like in a pretty good position. I'm gonna get my arrow. That's not what I wanted to do. My arrow's in position. I'm gonna get this ready. I'm gonna use, let's see, I can use the fire thing. Fire bloom. Fire fruit. Or I could use the bomb, which I think will be better. Even though those are... So, let's wait till they get to a nice little spot. Now, I think when you put it away... Oh, it is still there. Okay, good. Alright, because I'm going to jump and then... Once they come around, and then deploy to get the most effective placement of my arrow and bomb. Alright, so this seems like a good spot. Okay. I haven't quite figured out how to reload, and I wonder if we're going to be able to actually get true bomb weapons, true bomb arrows, and fire arrows, shock arrows, because that might be easier. Unless you can in mid hover. Somebody's following me. Oh, this guy. If in mid hover you're able to reload, I haven't tried that yet, so we'll see how that goes. Hopefully this Switch audio isn't too loud. If you watch segment 2, please know that the reason that was such a disaster, although it wasn't that bad when I watched some of it back, is because I had my game controls mixed up. My X and my B were swapped. Amateur move, Hilary. It's like you've never played this game before. Because you haven't. Let's see what this guy's got to say. This is a really interesting feature of the game. Once we go down to the depths, this gloom stuff here, which was present in the first game, a version of it. Here, when it zaps you, you lose the maximum number of hearts that you can restore. So, temporarily, until you do something else. I'll show you that and explain that when we get to it. See what this shrine's all about. Oh my god, it's my buddy Derek Evra. One of 3 people watching. You're the best, Derek. You're so amazing. Derek is fantastic. He's one of the best weather people I've ever watched and ever worked with. He's really dynamic, very good with the science, and also really engaging to watch. Whenever he's giving a weather, we have really good weather people, really we do, but Derek is pretty special. It's hard to be a really good scientist and also be really engaging, and he is both of those things. Okay, so we're gonna engage our fuse here. Our Ultra Hand, rather. Okay. Now, we're going to slide this on through. And use it to cross. Okay. This is a little tricky. Ah, we made it. Okay, so now we're gonna use that same principle for this bad boy. I find turning a little cumbersome, but you can kind of work it out. There we go. Because you have to use your left buttons while triggering the right to make this work. When you're spinning. To engage, you're going to use the left and then A to select. So let's see if we can climb up there. Well, let me climb up there? No. Alright, this might just be one we need to get. The music in the shrines is just markedly better. So much better than in Breath of the Wild. Fuse also does not extend very far, which I've mentioned in previous segments of this. We'll come back to that. Let's deal with this. I got this out. I feel like that's going to be an ascend situation. Aha! I think that's the key. We'll stack her up and then ascend through if we can. Clearly that's the one. How much you want to bet that that solved our problem? There you go. Okay. So that's something new I'm seeing. You have to have apparently a flat surface, so angular is not going to do you any good, apparently, if you're trying to use the ascend function. You need a flat surface, it looks like, from the bottom, a relatively flat surface, and a relatively flat surface on the top. So, good to know. Okay, so we'll get down from here, and then use this same technique to get back, get to the top. And then head towards our dot, run across the landscape here, in our quest to find Princess Zelda and talk about Sam Bankman-Fried. I'm so used to using the special features, the button that you use for the special features in the last game. I keep doing that. So if you see me pull up, like, my items, that's why. That looks right. Kind of. Oh. I think I need to... This is probably the worst task for someone who is more analytical than spatially aware, which is me. But I'll figure it out. I actually have terrible spatial awareness. Give me some calculus and algebra any day over geometry. Oh, that worked. Okay, we're gonna repeat this. Same jam. Let us see. I don't think it's gonna let me go through there. But maybe. I'm gonna test this theory I thought I just figured out with Ascend. Yes, my first theory is accurate. You need that flat surface. And hello, Jason. Welcome back. There we go. That should be sufficient. Haha! I'm pretty sure, oops. I'm pretty sure I've said this before. In fact, I think I know I said this before. When you're using Ascend, you have to exit Ascend, which I think is strange. I don't think they needed to do that, but it's not a big deal. Just remember that you're gonna have to press A to get out of it. And we have arrived. This is going to be a shorter stream, hopefully. How long have we been on? About 20 minutes. So let's see if we can do 45 minutes tonight. So let's talk Sam Bankman-Fried. And these tips are incredibly helpful, just for learning what's going on in the game while it's loading the next scene. And there were a lot of carryovers from Breath of the Wild, but they have changed some things. I think they were trying to avoid the idea of like a repeat, but I do wish some of the controls would have been kept more similar. So the same things you use to pull up your special Purapad options. So the same thing that you would use to like the up button under the left toggle. I think they could have kept that the same. This, you know, and that's the same way you retrieve Ultra Hand or deploy Ultra Hand or deploy Fuse. But you know, it's taking me a moment to get used to, but that's okay. I'm so used to playing the other game. Sam Bankman-Fried. Oh, these guys are crazy. So the trees just will sometimes animate and come after you. Now, how to stop them? I can't recall because I've only fought one bad guy tree. But, you know, let's see if it takes that. Absolutely not. We can't throw any explosives at it. Let's try fuse and bombing it. Let's see if that does anything. I know it's running away, but I want to remember how to defeat these guys. Let's see. I think it may be fire. Yep. Fire. Let's see what we got. Okay, it was worth it. No glider yet, so I can't ride the winds of change, alas. Alright, Sam Bankman-Fried, is probably going to do some jail time. The amount of evidence that's been racked up against him, just recently coming out, including the diary of the CEO of Alameda Research, which is a, you could call it a hedge fund, some people call it a hedge fund. I'm not sure that it really is. It's another trading platform. You know, they were very heavily invested in FTT, which is the native token for FTX, which is partly why this all came to a close. So FTT is a cryptocurrency that was created by FTX. By the way, Binance has a similar coin, which is also why I'm not on Binance, because that is somewhat incestuous. And if, like cryptocurrency, which is made up, but, fiat currency is also made up. But if cryptocurrency is just made up and then reinvested into that exchange, I have questions. Coinbase does not do this, although I heard at one point they were considering it, and nor does Kraken. So, Crypto.com has a similar style. They have a Crypto.com coin. Anytime, because these assets are created, there has to be a certain level of legitimacy, which is why Bitcoin is so impressive, because it's completely decentralized. Anybody can hold it, and that's not the case with FTT, because it was not decentralized. It was created by FTX and held by, in great amounts, FTX, and there was a certain degree of lack of transparency, which is why Alameda Research was heavily leveraged with FTT token. It held something like $5 billion in FTT token when it was a valuable token. And that's no good. I mean, you can see how that's problematic. And now all this evidence has come to light showing the link between FTT and Alameda, and that Sam Bankman-Fried was not just involved in FTT, but heavily involved in Alameda Research. And what they would do is kind of smart. I mean, so the way that Bitcoin works, and really anything, there are different rates for cryptocurrencies, and there are some people, this is all they do. It's called arbitrage, where you basically take the exchange rate, the differences in the price of Bitcoin or any cryptocurrency, you buy it from one exchange or one place and then sell it very quickly in another place. And the amount of money in between is what you get. And so you're just basically dealing in sort of anomalies in the marketplace, but it's very effective and you can make a lot of money. And that's exactly what Alameda Research did in the beginning. And then Sam was able to spin this off and create FTT, the cryptocurrency exchange. Again, I never held money on FTT, or Binance for that matter, which is the number one cryptocurrency exchange. There's a saying in cryptocurrency, not your keys, not your coins. Which means if you're not self-custodying your cryptocurrency, you're not holding it in a cold storage wallet or a wallet that's connected to the internet, it's on an exchange, technically the exchange has control over it. And that's the whole idea of cryptocurrency. And they're right. But there are some exchanges that are more trustworthy than others. And I think having a combined solution, I'm not here to give any financial advice, but I think having a combined solution kind of makes sense. Where you might keep, Bitcoin, for example, maybe a little Bitcoin on an American-based exchange like Kraken or Coinbase, and you might keep, some other esoteric token that they don't support in your wallet, in a wallet that's linked to the internet. So that can be a good solution. Okay, back to the game for a second. My diatribe is over for a moment. And we'll get into, so that's sort of the preface. We'll get into why the collapse of FTX isn't really about cryptocurrency. It's about traditional financial scamming, scheming, unethical, immoral behavior, all the traditional stuff, which is why they didn't have to make up charges, right? I mean, you can only charge with what's already on the books. They can only charge based on someone violating existing law. Sam Bankman-Fried violated existing law, allegedly. Okay, it's you. You're back. Where have you been?
Aww.
Alright, so characters are being reintroduced. Pura, who we saw, who had somehow found a way to anti-age, which is kind of neat. I wonder if she was using metformin and antioxidants, like resveratrol together, which I've heard is a very potent anti-aging duo. And wearing that sunscreen, baby. So we're gonna see Pura. She looked like a child the last time we saw her. I'm gonna ruin the surprise. She doesn't look like a child anymore. Her anti-aging has moved in a different direction. Let's talk to this lady first. I've run out of my iced coffee. I'd love some more. Dr. Pura!
Okay. Now where have you been? Linky, you're not a ghost, are you? Hey. That looks interesting.
He's got an alien hand. Not really.
One step at a time.
He's got Raru's hand.
What exactly happened?
My husband's getting me some more iced coffee. Daniel, can you water it down, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
So when you and Princess Zelda go beneath Hyrule Castle, you discover a mysterious mummy which suddenly reanimates. Then Zelda falls into a fissure and vanishes. That must have been when the castle rose and the ruins fell. Then, later, you wake up on a sky island, saved by the arm that was stuck to the mummy. You get the Pura pad from an unusual creature, and learn that your new arm belonged to someone named Raru. The Master Sword disappears. You hear the princess's voice, and find your way here.
Alright, so that's a recap of everything that happened. Now, my criticism before that the game took too long for us to get to this explanation, I think maybe they even realized, because they've just given us a summary, which wasn't necessary in Breath of the Wild. I think the original, the entry into the game was a little bit laborious and maybe unnecessarily long. The first king of Hyrule. I have his arm. How cool is that? If you're just listening and not reading these, essentially we're trying to figure out how to get to Princess Zelda, and Pura's going over where she might be, which is maybe beneath the castle. And she's sending us off to go to, thank you so much, sending us off to go to a Check in with search parties looking for Princess Zelda.
Yes.
And we're gonna have to look out for the mummy. She's counting on us, Linky. Okay. So one of our main quests is complete, and now we have to deal with this crisis going on at Hyrule Castle. In the meantime, I'm gonna just look around while I talk about Sam Bankman-Fried a little more. Why not? Let's see what's going on around here. Look at this. I wonder if you can jump on that thing. Usually can't climb the stuff that's on the sides. An open world has to have its limits, right? Because otherwise, how could they program this effectively? They couldn't. If I can get over there. Maybe not now. Okay. I think it might be nice to get a horse also in this process. There is more to discover around here, but 31 minutes. We're gonna head back out. Okay. Now we know where to go. So, the game sounds really loud to me. I don't know if it sounds loud to you guys. I'll turn it down just a little bit. Okay. So Sam Bankman-Fried also believes in altruistic finance, which I think is part of the reason that he ended up in this problem. Clearly, that's something. I just want to go check it out without talking to those guys and starting another quest. Because, oh yeah, that's definitely gonna be something to come back and check out. Look at this guy. A crystal refinery. Energy wells, what are those? Oh, okay, cool. No, not right now. We'll come back. I'll put a star right here. Oops. There we go. I thought the stamps could have been updated also. Like, what does, in a game this big and this complex, what does a star mean? Just that we need to come back to it? It'd be nice to have, you know, stars that are more specific. Like if this is where you think a Korok seed might be, or you know, these are some bad guys. This is where we find a chest that we haven't opened. Like, what would hearts mean? You know, or like if you could create a little note, like you can name horses. I'd like to be able to name stamps so I can see what was there. A lot of times in the last game, I would put down stamps and never return to them because I couldn't remember. I had so many stamps by the end, and they're so unspecific that they were almost useless, and they didn't update that. But I'm just being nitpicky. I'm just giving you my criticisms of the game. I still think this is a really wonderful game. The first one was fantastic. This one is too. But I think that in the third version, that is something that could get a lot better. So here's another shrine. We should really grab this shrine. When FTX collapsed, you all you have to do is go back and look at the prices of, say, Bitcoin, Ethereum. They were almost not affected by the collapse, which I think is the first piece of evidence we have that FTX's demise really didn't have very much to do with cryptocurrency generally. I would argue that Sam Bankman-Fried participated, as I mentioned earlier, in traditional financial fraud. He did things that, it seems, based on the evidence we have, in which he knowingly defrauded customers out of money. He misused funds. He, created this FTT token, which could have been administered properly. He could have had, found a way to make it more decentralized, like some of what's gone on with Ethereum. Bitcoin from the beginning was a decentralized coin, and there are some projects, what they call projects, in which the creators do find ways to make the project more decentralized. There's ways of doing it in cryptocurrency. That didn't happen with FTT. Okay. I think they want me to sidestep. I never use this in real combat, by the way. But I'm going to try to. This is where you just learn the basics. This is a very easy shrine. So we're going to pack pedal. That's what we're doing. And we need to do that when he strikes. So if we do it at the right time, there we go. You can go in and do a melee attack in this kind of semi-frozen state. So we want to do a parry. I do use parry, which is helpful when you're dealing with guardians. Oops. Have I forgotten how to parry? Apparently. Is it B? Oh, there it is. A. Okay. Oops. My timing is terrible here. Yes, thank you, I know. The game's like, you suck. Let's remind you what to do. Let's maybe try in the beginning of his swing. No, that's not it. His swing is strange, man. There? Is that what you want me to parry? There we go. Let's hope I don't encounter too many of these dudes. Okay. That finished him. Now here's where I will concede that Sam Bankman-Fried was able to more easily confuse and obfuscate what he was doing with investors and patrons that do specifically deal with cryptocurrency, and that's the creation of the FTT token. But there are a bunch of garbage, just like there are a bunch of garbage stocks, there are a bunch of garbage cryptocurrencies. It's with any financial product, anything you invest in, there's going to be a lot of garbage. When people can make money, sadly, it breeds corruption. If you had investigated just a little bit, which is why, again, I never held FTT token, you would know that it was a highly centralized token, and that any token linked to a cryptocurrency exchange, in my opinion, is a ticking time bomb. Now, to use something like say the Binance coin to maybe purchase something else, like to purchase a coin like in a play to earn game or something like that. I could see that because it's just transactional, and you might need that coin because there is a lot of liquidity. For example, with BNB coin, Binance's coin, fine. But to hold it as an asset, know that you are holding a highly speculative asset, and one that does not abide by or fall within the confines of what's considered to be fiscally responsible within the cryptocurrency space. Now, if you're a cryptocurrency novice, you could easily be wrapped up in that. If you're not, if you're even basically invested, no pun intended, in understanding cryptocurrency, you would know choosing a coin linked to an exchange is just a bad gamble. Now, you can make a lot of money. Like, there's some people who got Binance's coin very early and saw a tremendous rise, especially during the bull run. But that's just luck. And some people want to do that. They want to play that game. They know it's a bad asset, but they want to ride the wave. You know, I think if you betray yourself there, it's eventually going to bite you in the butt. Because I'm sure people betting on Sam Bankman-Fried thought that he was just this wonder kid. Everything he touches turns to gold. He can do no wrong. So that's one way in which cryptocurrency was involved, but not really. It was the lack of understanding of by people who were investing or putting their money on FTX, and not understanding that FTT token or FTX was sound. Now, look, I'm not here to say to people, hey, you know, you're a bad person, or, you know, it was bad financial practice to park your money on FTX. I think it's probably bad financial practice to park your money on Binance, frankly. And this is not financial advice, but there are problems there, and I'll leave it to you to investigate. And just remember that it was mostly the traditional things about Sam Bankman-Fried that made him appealing. It was the story that was told. He's an MIT graduate. He's got a physics degree. He, you know, clearly is an American, even though his business was based in the Bahamas. That was always a red flag for me. His business was not an American exchange. And so therefore it is subject. Oh, I think we're getting another red moon. If I'm not, oh no, that's just the ambiance here. We're very close to the gloom, so it's manifesting in the air. But the fact that FTX wasn't based in the Bahamas, wasn't based in the United States, was based in the Bahamas, was a problem for me. How do we get in here? I think we got to talk to these people. And the story, the story was tremendous. So, again, an MIT grad in physics, his parents Stanford law professors, so people are thinking he's being guided. He's just this genius. He's like JP Morgan of crypto, all that nonsense. He's bought a stadium. He's got all of these influencers, Gisele Bündchen and all these other folks who are repping cryptocurrency, who are legitimately interested in like NFTs and crypto, but had no idea about the soundness of his business or his exchange. Huh. So can we get in here? I don't know. I don't think we have enough stamina to climb to the top. I can't climb that. Our destination might be behind the castle. I suppose we'll find out. So I think in many ways, Sam Bankman-Fried used a lot of the stuff that a lot of the kind of je ne sais quoi and storytelling that, say, Elizabeth Holmes did of Theranos. You know, they both were really good at telling a story about the product, and there was a general lack of. I'm wandering here like that. Oh, it's me. Research efforts from the first gatehouse up ahead, very end of the road. Maybe I was supposed to use my ultra hand there. Probably. That's probably what they wanted me to do. I just wanted to be a rebel and climb. She had, I believe, Mattis was one of her investors. And because he didn't really understand the technology, I think he asked him to be on the board. And so, you know, you have someone who clearly you would think is savvy in other areas of life and is an incredibly high achiever and did the best he could, but didn't understand really what Theranos was all about, and so he kind of got suckered. I think there's something similar you can say with Sam Bankman-Fried. So many people, all you have to do is listen to any testimony on crypto, and you'll quickly find out. A lot of people don't understand it. And I don't claim to be an expert. I'm just saying they don't have a base understanding of what blockchain is, of what Bitcoin is and Ethereum, how it's different than other cryptocurrencies. They've never held a wallet, you know, they've never done, like, I always encourage people, it's not that difficult to understand. You can just do a little bit of reading. And I would say, you know, open a wallet, open a digital wallet and try it out. You know, get a few coins and transfer them from one wallet to another, and you'll get an understanding of what these cryptocurrencies are. I mean, you can spend $25-$50 doing that, and digital wallets are free, by the way. So yeah, I mean, they don't understand the basics of even how to custody this stuff. So I think that's a lot of what happened here. We need to find Haas. Folks didn't get it. They didn't do their homework. They didn't do their research. And so he was able to pull the wool over their eyes. And the most important thing is just that, you know, the traditional cryptocurrencies, not FTT, but other cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum were barely affected by the collapse of FTX. When we saw Signature Bank and SVB go down, you know, the markets were shook. I mean, totally shook. You didn't see any of that with the fall of FTX, and it was a huge exchange. And I feel badly for the people who've lost money. I don't know if they'll ever be able to recoup it. But if you're going to be involved in crypto, understand the basics. Understand what crypto is about, which is having custody of your own cryptocurrency. And if you're not going to have custody of your cryptocurrency, choose a place to put your money that hopefully has like true oversight in the United States. I think anything can happen at any time, but at least with the cryptocurrency exchanges based in the U.S., the regulation is frankly different. Don't get caught up in the hype like, you know, some of the stuff we've seen with crypto.com, which again is not an American exchange. So just be careful about that. So in this game, the weapons you get are destroyed or like decayed when you first get them. That's how they come, because of the gloom and because of the upheaval. Let's see if we can get rid of something and upgrade our situation here. I don't need that. Grab that. Where is Haas? Wingo. Okay, how's this up there? I don't even need to talk to Wingo. I hope that's okay for you guys. We know what the game is telling us to do. Side note, ChatGPT. I did a whole thing on AI that I haven't posted yet. There's been talk about AI writing some of the interaction between your main character and like these side characters that send you on quests. And I am confident it could easily do it because it's not very substantive. You only need to look at the words in red to know what you need to do. And again, with these side characters, he's kind of on edge. I don't want to bother him. I mean, yeah, AI could do that. Okay, here we go. There he is. Now we get a full animation so we know we're in the right spot. No, she's not safe. Prepare yourself for something cool. Alright, so we know what to do. We need to get back to Pura. Tell her what's going on. I see a place to get some Korok seeds. I knew that was going to kill some hearts, but whatever. It is what it is. I think we're going to be able to also get our glider pretty soon. I think when we go back to Pura, we get our glider, which will help a lot. Especially since we don't have very much stamina right now. So, to recap. The cryptocurrencies, the major cryptocurrencies were barely affected by the collapse of FTX. FTT token, which was the issue at heart here. Let's see, can we get up top here? No, we gotta stay down here. So these Korok seeds, it's very similar to Breath of the Wild, so I'm not going to spend too much time on that, but basically the same kind of deal. Oh, these are my least favorite because they are very resource intensive. You can shoot like 50 arrows trying to solve one of these, and you usually just get one Korok seed, although maybe they've changed that. Now the more difficult, Now, the more difficult Korok quests will give you two, like you reuniting one of the little Korok guys with his friend, for example. Boom. All right, now we need one more. Where are you? There you are. Oh, see? They're tricky. And who's going to go pick up your arrow? No one's going to do that. Unless you're shooting in one direction. So I've done that sometimes, but inevitably you lose some. Okay, I think we can fast travel back to Pura. Sort of, kind of. Yeah, we'll go here. This is so rambly. I've learned that doing these, trying to play the game and also talk about something. I get distracted with whatever is going on in the game sometimes, so thanks for hanging in there. But yeah, the markets weren't, the cryptocurrency markets were not affected by the collapse of FTX. FTT is the exact definition of a junk cryptocurrency. It's something I never held. Again, not tooting my own horn, but, you know, just a cursory base understanding of what a good cryptocurrency is would let you know that the FTT token certainly wasn't one of them. As a transactional coin, fine, but not something to hold as a store of value. And maybe I should talk a little bit more about that at some point. On a pretty basic level, surface level, a coin you would want to hold would be Bitcoin, for example. You want to pick it up and hold. I talked in the last segment about a tweet that I made a while back when Bitcoin was like $17,000. And we picked some up then, close to 17,000. If you held on to it until about now, I haven't looked at the price today, but when I was doing part 3, it was like close to 2,700. So you're up 58, 59%. That's better than most tech stocks. So you did very well by doing that. So buying and using it as an asset that you trade to try to increase your value, your fiat currency overall. It's very good for that. Now, a coin like a stable coin would be a quintessential example of something you use transactionally. You can hold your money in it, but it's basically tracking the dollar, and we all know that the dollar's value is going in one direction, which is down. That's just the nature of fiat currencies. It's called inflation. This is just the process of traditional money. And cryptocurrency also, besides the idea of having self-custody, you're supposed to be able to, hopefully have a hedge against inflation. The upheaval. It's already got a few regions in mind to start explaining. So we're going to go check out the upheaval now. Oh, I think we're about to get something important. She's upgrading our Switch. I mean, Purapad. I think it's cute that the Switch is the Purapad. I'm sure you guys figured that out. Alright, Skyview Tower. Haha! Alright. Now we're cooking with grease. We're getting another very essential element of this game. So she's giving us a survey. Her comments are cute. Check it. All right. You get to this a lot earlier in the other game, but this game is supposed to be more extensive, so maybe this is very early compared to the length of the game overall, how long it takes to get through it all. hope I can go to sleep. Yay, now these are active, so we can activate towers all across the game and fill in our map, which is what happens when you activate a tower, similar to the previous game. My turn. I know, Pura, I'm trying. There we go. All right. Another reason that Sam Bankman-Fried demise and the fall of FTX really didn't have anything to do with cryptocurrency. We can think about or take a look at the things he's charged with. 13 counts total, I believe. All right, so here we get our paraglider, which is very important. Securities fraud, money laundering, campaign finance violations, all of these are traditional charges, as I mentioned before. Really, nothing relating to cryptocurrency specifically. When people say, oh, look at the crypto collapse, it was not a crypto collapse. Someone even asked me, are you doing okay? I was like, yeah, I'm doing great. Like, you know, if anything, yeah, there were a couple of coins that took a hit as a result of the FTX stuff, but it worked out great for me, you know? I mean, because you can pick something up at a discount if you believe in the narrative. I mean, and that's the idea of investing. You find something that you've studied, you've researched, you look at the financials, you look at the fundamentals, and decide if the overall narrative is over time, not to get rich quick, but over time, if the narrative is that it's going to increase. And if you believe in the idea of being able to bank the unbanked and the noble elements of that, this is cool. And the noble elements of being able to have control of your own crypto, of your own money. And I think that for me, the most important thing is how empowered everyday people are, because control of the financial system is control of the people. And so Bitcoin literally cannot be controlled. Yeah, sure. Technically, a sovereign nation can say we don't allow Bitcoin. That's true, but they can't get rid of your Bitcoin. They can't stop your Bitcoin. You can always hold the keys. You don't have to ever have it in any financial institution. In fact, we saw that with, the trucker protest not that long ago. I think it was like a year and a half ago. Please remind me if I got that timeline wrong, but... So there we go. X is going to activate your glider, but you don't have enough stamina, so you're going to want to free fall or dive and then activate your... There you go. I love this. This is cool, huh? This free falling. And you use no stamina when you're doing that. Okay, now, boom. There we go. It's exciting. All right, so that's really cool. And then, the nice thing about this too is it's a way to, instead of climbing up to the top of a tower, now you go in, you get catapulted to the top, you can fly or drift at the top and then paraglide down, and you get a look over the land. So that's really cool. All right, time to refresh a little. with a little food. And that's the biggest concern, issue, reason why I buy into cryptocurrency is because, inflation is here. And we're seeing, it's always been around, but we're seeing just incredible inflationary pressures in the United States. And it's affecting what people can do. I see, videos on YouTube and elsewhere, like how to, cut back because of inflation. Why should we have to cut back because of inflation? Why shouldn't we be able to have access to a more secure financial system that allows us to hold the value of our money instead of being powerless to see it constantly debased? Isn't that something we deserve? And if it's available, if it's out there, if you can have a finite amount of some kind of currency or store of value like Bitcoin that everyone buys into, which most people do at this point, and all you have to do is look at the financial institutions, traditional financial institutions that hold Bitcoin. That's the dirty little secret. And retirement funds across the world that hold Bitcoin. People want to say it's unstable, it's confusing. It's the future. And I'm not an evangelist. If ever there was a moment where I had serious doubts about cryptocurrency or something changed, or there were substantial problems with the ecosystem, or something else, quantum computing, posed a threat, sure, I'm willing to always reevaluate a narrative. I'm never religious about anything. I try to follow reason in everything that I do, and I think the more that we can do that, we should never be religious about our approach to any kind of ideas that exist in the world. We should use our reason. We should use the science and the senses we have to be able to evaluate it, not some kind of thing from the ether. So yeah, if the narrative were to change, I would totally reevaluate. But right now, there is no threat. Bitcoin has trended overall over the course of time only up, and there's a finite amount of it. It cannot be inflated. Yes, it can be manipulated. Yes, there are people who hold a lot of it who can, to some degree, manipulate the system. There's no financial system that exists right now that cannot be manipulated to some degree. I'm asking for a greater degree of financial freedom. My ability to hold a coin or hold something that has value, and that the only thing, for the most part, affecting that value is its performance in the open market, and that's what crypto offers. Again, you have to be careful. Not every cryptocurrency is the same. In fact, again, a ton of junk. All right, so I'm kind of wandering aimlessly while I think about what our next step is. I'm gonna look to see how long I've been streaming. And I've been streaming for about an hour and 10 minutes. So, what to do now? I'm feeling pretty good. We got our glider. Maybe I'll do one more shrine, maybe. Just running around, seeing how I feel. I think I kind of want to get a horse. Let's see if we see any horses around. That's what I'll do. I'll get a horse and then call it a day. This is the earliest I've streamed thus far. You read that only 9% of us use cash. So hold a coin, when I say hold a coin, that's a really good point, Jason. When I say hold a coin, what I mean by that is hold the key to the coin. So the digital, it is a digital process. You can't physically, although I think you can get the numbers and letters that represent the key for any given cryptocurrency printed. But no, you're not physically holding a coin. you would custody that key, which the key is the access to that cryptocurrency. So for each portion Bitcoin or each portion of Bitcoin that you hold, there is literally a designation of numbers and letters that points to that piece of the Bitcoin or Bitcoin you hold. And that's the way it works basically with other cryptocurrencies. And so having access to that key is what allows you to have access to the cryptocurrency. And I talked about the basics of cryptocurrency in the last segment, which is they're built on blockchains, which are immutable ledgers, a ledger that can't be changed. So every transaction is completely visible to everybody, which is different than our traditional banking system. In a traditional banking system, you know, you can see the outcome of a transaction, but we're not seeing every step of the process. With Bitcoin, and there's no third party, with Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, every single movement that Bitcoin makes can be seen, tracked, traced. In fact, when there was the ransom over the pipeline issue, the perpetrators used Bitcoin, and the federal government was able to, I think, get almost all of that Bitcoin recovered because you can see exactly where it's tracked, where it goes. You can track it specifically, you can trace it. So when I say hold, that's what I mean. Cash in a digital sense and cash in a paper sense is really the same. Like if you're using the US dollar and you're using a credit card, and then you pay in fiat currency that, $100, it's all the same. It's all the exact same thing. It's just a US dollar. The idea of Bitcoin is you take a certain amount of US dollar and invest it in that cryptocurrency. And then you hold whatever portion of that crypto, the key to that, to be able to use it however you like to use it. All right. I was looking for a horse, no luck. But I'm so glad you brought that up. That's what hold a coin means, is having access to that, the key that points towards your cryptocurrency. I'd love to know what folks think about the music. I have to say, too, I feel like this is my most productive session thus far. And I started my stream before midnight, which I'm also proud of. Yay me! That's an accomplishment. Small little things when it comes. I'm going to say this, but it's complicated, but, I don't know if I like social media, which YouTube technically is. We want to be careful. Oh, shoot. Look at that. So if you hit one of these fire fruits, like the fire jujus, you're gonna set yourself on fire. Come on, horses, where are ya? I feel like I saw horses around here. Well, the rain is good. It's easier to sneak up on some creatures when it's raining. That worked out. Now, I wonder if you do this in the rain, if you hit one in the rain, if it'll still go up in fire. Let's see. Yeah. But it goes out quickly. I'm kind of having fun. So I kind of don't want to quit. But I got to do a bunch of stuff before tomorrow. I don't know how I feel about social media. I have a love-hate relationship with it. Mostly hate relationship. But I understand it's important. I mean, there is really a lot of valuable. Hudson. I remember Hudson. He's the guy that had that house for sale in Hateno Village in Breath of the Wild. President Hudson. Huh. I kind of want to see what happens if he does let go. Okay. That was lame. Yeah. I get ya. There's a lot of social media. I debated for almost a year and a half about setting up a TikTok account. Even doing that. So I eventually did, but I haven't posted anything there. TikTok has such a huge reach, but it has serious problems. So I've just still been thinking about it and weighing all of the pros and the cons. Overall, the TikTok format has observably caused problems for our youth, and made that very short viral video, 20, 15-second to 60-second dancing nonsense. I'm not being critical. I'm just saying that if that's all you're looking at all day, and getting that dopamine hit, especially if you're a young person and your mind is still developing, the science, the data is pretty clear. It's not good for you. And other social media sites have now started. They have the shorts. I uploaded like 2 shorts, 3 shorts, whatever. Other social media sites to keep up with TikTok, the now dominant social media giant, have adopted some of their ways. But they've kept, like YouTube has some longer format videos where you can learn a lot. I have health and fitness. There's some really great health and fitness creators, doctors, MDs who go on YouTube and share their knowledge. I mean, there's, YouTube has its benefits. I'm not knocking it, but like everything, it has its drawbacks as well. And I'm still on the fence about TikTok. I'd love to have a TikTok debate, because the privacy concerns that people have about TikTok, they're really applicable to all of the social media. I may not be able to get up here while it's raining. They're applicable to all the social media platforms. The difference is that TikTok obviously is run by the CCP. That's a little bit of a hyperbolic, overblown statement, but no company based in China is free from the CCP. So, and also TikTok isn't even available in China. They have a version of TikTok that is, to me, seems more palatable, at least for younger viewers, and they understand. Right. Yep, that's right. There have been statewide bans. So I've struggled with TikTok because, okay, this is a Korok seed. It has great reach. And so on a personal level, the degree to which my own security would be breached is nil. I mean, even if they were tracking me via the phone, although I think iPhone has a pretty good buffer around TikTok, because a lot of people use it on their iPhones, so that it can't data mine in the rest of the phone. If it can track your movements. And there are certain permissions you have to give TikTok to be able to use it, which is different than the other social media sites. And again, I mean, all this data could easily be going straight to the CCP, because every company connected to China is not a free place. And so if you're a company based out of China, it's not a condemnation of the people, it's the government. They have control over their citizenry. Another reason I have to be skeptical of Binance, which is also a Chinese company. So, but, you know, so on a personal level, will it affect me personally by getting on TikTok? No. And everyone's there. But, from a principle perspective, I don't like the direction TikTok is sending social media generally. All right, now what do we want to do here? And I think that there are clearly problems for young people being on TikTok, especially, and even adults, you know. And the importance of social engineering in any society is huge, and we cannot underestimate it. So obviously, this challenge has something to do with this. I just don't know what yet. We need to obviously get there. Okay, let's use, oh, you know what? Here's an idea. What if we put it up here and turned it this way, which you don't have to do like that. We turned it on, and then maybe, no, that won't take us. Oh, hello. Duh. So Jason, what do you think? Should I do one of my segments as I deal with this indeterminate? There we go. That was the key. As I do this indeterminate, these indeterminate segments of Zelda streaming, that maybe I should just go ahead and do one on TikTok. Maybe. I struggle with it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I should start there. I mean, it would, as I'm now engaging more in social media, I know it would be helpful. No question. There's just a huge audience here, and the algorithm allows you to go viral, so you can, you know, whatever content you have, it can more easily reach people. But on the stuff they're doing, man, I don't know. And will my little voice contribute to the nonsense, or not really? I don't know. Or will it be helpful? I even thought, well, maybe I will do TikTok and just like post videos about the dangers of TikTok there. I don't know. I haven't decided. Because again, there are problems with all social media. Huh. This is interesting. I wonder what would happen if I used Ultra Hand on it and then did a rewind. What the heck? Yeah, let's see what happens. I'm curious. Recall. Let's see if I can move. Oh, no, that didn't work. It worked though. Like the rewind worked, but oh well. Fuse? Ascend? I wonder if I could ascend on this to this ledge. I'm thinking, oh, maybe I can. Wow. Look at that. Now maybe it'll work. So it looks like when you rewind something, it's going to be the last motion. So once you rewind it, it resets, it seems. Let's do that. And then use our ascend. Oh. Nope, no luck. Wonder if this would do it. Maybe. That seems like a no. Maybe two. Maybe if I have two. No. That's not it. Huh. tricky. Like, I think to get up here, I just need to use these. I might come back and get the shrine. I never could figure out in the last game if getting, if you didn't get a shrine, what that meant in the signal. Still don't know. Seems like it's gotta be the thing, right? It's gotta be. Why wouldn't it be? Yeah. Gotta be, right? So I told you before that wiggling your right like this will detach, which is true. And that it wasn't obvious because my husband couldn't figure it out, but that's because he doesn't have symbols on the bottom of his gameplay. So I was trying to help some people out, and I didn't really need to. Okay. I guess it's going. See, that seems to make sense, right? Oh, okay, look. I almost took flight. Oh! Look at that, very close. Boop, 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 boop. Looks like he's doing pull-ups. Air pull-ups. I don't know, folks. Let's see, maybe. You know what would be an interesting thing if this just had come from the top? We didn't know that, and that's what they wanted us to do. No. All right, so after we finish this shrine, we are going to call it quits for tonight. And come back to that shrine at a later, or that chest at a later date. I do that sometimes. I did that in Breath of the Wild. I would finish a shrine. If I couldn't get to the chest, I'd come back for it if I wanted it. And at this point, the stuff that you get in the chest usually isn't that good. So that's how I justify it. All right, how about this? You know what? Maybe we need to... Okay, I think I just figured it out, literally. Let's turn all these off. I think I literally just figured it out. And I think what you need to do is attach it maybe to the top, maybe? Oh, Hilary. That's the direction we needed to go in anyway. Maybe put it like here. Yeah, that seems right. And then... Haha! Problem solved. You just need to know game logic, right? Game logic. Because that error should have been just as effective underneath. Like, think about it right here. It should have had the exact same effect where I had them placed. Just saying. Ooh. right, let's look out. See what our next task is going to be. Which to me are not quite as clear as the last game. That's okay though. That's not a criticism. It's just doesn't seem that way to me. So wanted to give you some potential destinations to investigate. So it looks like we need to go back to Pura. I kind of want to go back to Pura tonight. So basically after we went up in the Sky Tower, we'll need to return to her Skyview Tower, and she'll give us some more instructions. She is cool. I also wish you could put these away. You cannot. You have to just use them, and once you deploy them, you can't reuse them. So how do you think we get to that chest? Looks like that's not a wood item, but I'm gonna give it a go anyway. Alright, we have this cool fire thing. Let's see if that works. No. So you can put these Zonai devices on the edge of your weapons and have a fire weapon, which is cool. I still hope the traditional fire weapons and special utility arrows are coming back in this game because I really liked those. They're very efficient, helpful. Yeah, so that's not it either. Is there a place where there are no pointy spikes? I bet you if I hit this, it's gonna hit, yep. Yep. I mean, I could just get above it somehow and float down on top of it and see what's close. That maybe I could do that. Maybe if I travel back over there, maybe I could get down to it. Maybe. Let's try. Because I wanted to go back there anyway. Yeah. Maybe. Oh. Lysophiles? I've never known how to pronounce those. Lysophilos? Let's see if we can get on top here. Okay, so... Oh, good, and you can use your map while you're in the air, so... Maybe we can do that. I probably should have put a marker, huh? I think that's it, though, over there. Says the girl with terrible spatial awareness. I think that is it. I'm wrong. I told you all I have terrible spatial awareness. I never made any other kind of... Ooh. Which shrine was it? This one? I can't remember. No, it's not that one. It's that one. I can tell by the name. Okay. Boss bokoblins. I've seen those. They seem really intense. I would use a different word. They seem like bad bosses. They really do. So let's now use, I guess I could use a little stamp, an indeterminate stamp, and go back to our tower and try that again. Okay, 12:30. Time for us to quit. This is going to be our last thing. Try climbing around, they say. Go to higher ground. So that's what we're going to do. That's what the game told me to do. I'm doing it. Ooh. I hope when I watch this back, the sound is higher. It's where it should be. Okay. Now. Okay, that's kind of helping. Am I right on top of it? No, I'm not at all. This is a good idea in theory. It's pretty. Look at that image from the sky right in front of us. I can't circle it, but you can see one of the creatures we encountered at the very beginning. And, oops. Oh, I'm out of stamina. Uh-oh. Will this let me? Will it let me? Will it let me? Nope. So when you run out of stamina, you get one more chance once you get close to the ground to deploy your glider so that you don't kill yourself. And I used it in the sky, not realizing what was going on. Alright, I'm calling it quits. It's almost an hour and 45 minutes. We can try that again in our next segment, if I remember. If not, it's just one chest I've missed. I'm sure I'll come back to it. And it's got a star there. Hopefully I'll remember. Probably not. But maybe I will. Okay, let's do this thing. Conclusion. Conclusion time. I'll try to get back to OBS. There we go. Let's fade to... There we go. I'm back. Okay, so, All right, so to summarize, the situation with FTX had very little, if nothing, to do with cryptocurrency. The only thing that cryptocurrency, the only effect cryptocurrency had, I'm going to turn the volume down just a little bit, in the demise of FTX was that it obfuscated what was going on for people who did not have a lot of familiarity with cryptocurrency, which is frankly a lot of people. And we saw Binance sell off FTT tokens. It's been theorized that Binance wanted the whole time to try to undermine FTX, which would be an important, or a pretty good strategic move. And then, as you probably know, Binance came in and offered to buy the non-US cryptocurrency exchange. By the way, that brings up a very important point about cryptocurrency exchanges. All of the ones that operate outside of the US, which is the overwhelming majority of them, except for a few, including Kraken and Coinbase, that are based rather in the United States, all of them, for the most part, have a US version, one that can be used in the US and one that can be used internationally. So if you were to get on any cryptocurrency exchange, with a few exceptions, you're going to have to use the US version. Now, that's not something that regulators have put in place. It's something that the cryptocurrency exchanges do reflexively because of US regulation to avoid some of the problems that Sam Bankman-Fried encountered, and even doing that because of the lack of overarching regulation on cryptocurrency. And I'm on the fence about whether that's necessary, especially from governing bodies and people who do not really understand cryptocurrency at all, even, again, in a basic way. I'm skeptical about what may happen there, but there probably is some need for cryptocurrency regulation. It's just, can lawmakers currently arrive at a solution that's tenable and reasonable and doesn't cripple cryptocurrency innovation and doesn't place undue burdens on cryptocurrency users like myself. We shall see. But anyway, so most cryptocurrency exchanges, a lot of people don't realize that, have two versions, and you can regulatory issues here in the United States. I think I got kicked off of OBS. I don't know if you heard all of that. I don't know if that was captured in the stream, but anyway, basic points. Sam Bankman-Fried, messed things up. And the incestuous relationship between Alameda Research and FTX caused a lot of issues. And the FTT token was made out of nowhere. It was a junk coin. There are a lot of junk coins out there. And the reason why, once FTX fell, we didn't see tremendous shaking of Bitcoin and Ethereum prices is because they are very different. FTT token is entirely different than Ethereum and Bitcoin. And in fact, Gary Gensler's already pretty much said that that Bitcoin would not be a security. So it's kind of in a class of its own because it is decentralized and not controlled by any particular individual, and anyone can access it and custody it himself or herself. So yeah, I mean, it was all about Alameda borrowing $5 billion with a B in FTT token, or having that leverage of FTT token, and that's clearly not a good look, especially again when FTT token is just made up. Now, if Alameda, for example, were holding $5 billion in Bitcoin, and say the reverse were true, like FTX had a certain amount of leverage, FTX had the leverage, and that position was in Bitcoin, which is real, decentralized, actually has some degree of value that we've all agreed upon, that would have meant something different. But it was not just the incestuous relationship, but also the fact that, again, FTT token is a junk coin, like all cryptocurrency. And that's not specific to FTX. Any cryptocurrency exchange that has its own token, beware. But do what you want, not financial advice. So again, it's not central to what cryptocurrency is. In fact, everything that happened in the space of the fraud that occurred was all traditional financial fraud, which again, remember the key element here is that there is no overarching cryptocurrency regulation. And so all of the things that he could be charged with, Sam Bankman-Fried that is, would have to fall within the confines of what is already there, what's already on the books. And therefore we know it wasn't cryptocurrency specific. Money laundering, securities fraud, campaign finance violations, those things don't really have anything to do with cryptocurrency. So just understand that. It's not, take it into consideration when you're thinking about how to custody your coins and where you should be putting your coins and or tokens. But it really isn't central to the major narrative of cryptocurrency, the fall of FTX, which is having control over your own finances, having control over the so-called money or place you store your value, being able to custody that yourself, not have a third party involved, and being able to have some kind of hedge against inflation, because fiat currency is essentially controlled by the government. I mean, what the Fed does affects the money we have in our bank accounts now, or any place you're holding fiat currency, and it's not growing. If it's just sitting there, it's depreciating. That's not hyperbolic. That's not meant to be threatening or scary. It just is true. That's just the nature of fiat currency. It depreciates in value over time. So if you want a hedge against that, you gotta invest in something. Pick your poison. But I think it is categorically false to say that the fall of FTX was a cryptocurrency led scandal or scheme. It happened to be a financial fraud case that involved cryptocurrencies, which is the distinction, and a very important distinction to make. All right, that's going to do it for me. I'm going to wrap this up, and I should be back tomorrow, hopefully right after work, which should be sometime around 7:30 or 8, hopefully. And hopefully I'll also get some of these other things that I've pre-recorded that aren't just streaming, edited and up. That's a big thing for me, so hopefully. Anyway, I look forward to seeing you at a later date, and it's been fun.